Hi, I'm Sharon Bowman, professor at UAT, and today we're going to do a more advanced technique with our plaster cast masks. So, things that we need are either easy form or from a medical supply store, just plaster cast tape. Looks like this. And petroleum jelly to cover your model's face. So once you get the basic form that you want on their face, there are things that you can start doing to play with the finished effect. So, for example, we're just going to give her some ridges. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take a little bit of water to soften up the ridge line on the nose and make it so she has a little point along her nose. Then we're going to give her a basic sort of eyebrow ridge leading from that point. So we're just going to take a small, narrow piece of the plaster cast tape and just sort of fold it over until we can get it to form into sort of a little ridge. So we're just building up that ridge a little more, both on the nose and the eye. I'm going to add a little bit more around the end of her eye here and build that up even further. And so what you can do with this technique is you can start to make the mask more alien in nature than just the form of a human. And you can build that up to any thickness or any exaggeration that you want. And then when you get your final layer, that's where you start just dipping your finger lightly in the water. Try not to get drips all over your model's face. And smooth out the plaster so it fills in all those little holes. So you get a nice smooth finish. And you can attach to the plaster, like the edge of the plaster, you can attach just like a little piece of nylon that sticks out maybe just a half an inch to an inch, and just plaster that on, and then you'd be able to spirit gum that nylon to the skin so that the mask holds. Other things you can do are build holes into the mask so that you can use some sort of elastic to hold it tight onto the actor's face once it's done. Now you can, again, do any kind of effect that you want with just moving around the plaster. Something else that you can do that won't go at all with this particular mask, but we're going to do it anyway, is just scrunch up your plaster to make really bizarre forms on the face. So if we wanted our final mask to look as though it had been through some stuff, you just get it, scrunch it up, and add more water until it sticks. And you can smooth it out. Make sure it's scrunching the way you want it to. This piece was actually hard before I put it on, so it's not going to scrunch properly. Scrunch up another piece there. And you can again do all kinds of making your mask not human looking with the scrunching technique. So the most important part of all of this is that you have a plan before you start. So do you want your final mask to look like an alien? Do you want it to look like a burn victim? Have a plan, know what you're going to do. Think about bone structure, where bone structures naturally are. It's a human face, so even if you want to make it look alien, you're going to need to do some things that are supported by human bone structure. Okay? Okay, so this is a mask somebody's made where it's obviously just the lower half of the jaw. It has, creepy things across the mouth and then a really nice ridge right here. So you can also use this technique for just making things that look like armor. And then plaster holds paint really, really well. So you can do airbrush or acrylic paint or even watercolor. But you want to make sure your watercolor isn't too wet or it will start to change the shape of the mask. So, example, creepy mask. And that is how to do an advanced plaster cast mask. Thanks.